G'day, Chris Walker here, and I'd love to talk you through the Walker Power Hour for Visionaries. There are 6 steps in this Power Hour, and I'll go through them quite quickly for you now. The first one is to look after yourself. Visionary people need to take 10 minutes a day to do what I call the corpse pose. Corpse pose is where you lie dead flat on the floor and just take a complete chill out time. And you don't try and do anything. The only rules of the corpse pose are to lie down and be still. So that's the first thing. And I eventually, if you get really good at the corpse pose, and I think the mastery of the corpse pose takes about a year, eventually you can translate that into a sitting up corpse pose where you actually can sit in a state of stillness. I have videos on the web about that. The second part of the power hour is the health area. And visionary people burn a lot of fuel. They work harder than most people, they work more diligently than most people, they have more to live for than most people, and therefore they have a more exciting life. And therefore they have to be careful. The most important keys to health are that we don't need to spend a lot of time on it. There's the HIT training, high intensity interval training. There's not eating bad food, which means saves you a whole lot of time dieting and getting recovering from that. There's spending a few minutes a day stretching and doing yoga and doing deep breathing. And there's an app called Pranayama. I love that app, and I think it's the best way to do deep breathing exercises because you need a lot of energy. And where does energy come from? It comes from prana. Where does prana come from? It comes from the air. So see if you can do some breathing exercises every day. So that's the health aspect. The third area is vision. You need to spend at least 10 minutes a day of doing Walker Chi. And Walker Chi is sort of a combination of yoga, Tai Chi, visionary, manifestation, universal consciousness, energy management, Qigong, and a lot of other things. And that process is about engaging with the universe, a contract that you have in your mind, a vision, and you would like the universe or the energy around you to engage that vision. It's sort of an affirmation to yourself that these are important things in your life, and you want support from the universe and support from those around you to manifest them. It keeps you focused, it keeps you affirmative, it keeps you proactive towards, and it keeps you focused rather than scattered in your objectives. Walker Chi is really important. You can do, I would say the best thing to do is do 5 minutes in the morning and a few minutes through the day just without the physical hand movements. The next thing is evolve yourself, the fourth step. And that means use a single breath technique to deal with all the emotions that can come up. I teach all my clients about a single breath discharge process, which allows them to return to a really healthy state rather than to engage in an emotional journey and follow a track that is not necessarily healthy. But once a day, it's really wise to take 5 minutes to go through the discard process and process just one single emotion or one single judgment or one single thought that you had and move on, and therefore always be moving through emotional frustra as fast, if not faster, than the rest of your life. The next area, biophilia. Biophilia is by far the most easy access, the low-hanging fruit, but by far the most influential on a visionary person. A visionary person cannot afford to have an environmental factor operating in contradiction to them, to their direction. Just to remain visionary, you must remain big picture. To remain big picture is to apply the universal laws to everything in a small picture. So one of the dangers to a visionary is to start being drawn down into the average consciousness or to the problems of the world. And at one stage, a visionary needs to be able to solve small problems, but at the same token, they can't go down. It's the very same dynamic we have when we are mountain climbing and we have a person get stuck down below. Does the climber that's up the top, the leader of the group, go back down to get the person up, or do they throw a rope? If they go back down, they have 2 people stuck. If they throw a rope, they have 1 person safe and 1 person stuck. And the probability of success of that is very high. So biophilia is about helping others. It's about creating an environment that is engaging and visionary for yourself. And it's about being able to help people without self-sacrifice. Finally, love. Love is the secret weapon of all visionary people. The more you are a visionary, the more you'll love. The more intensely you'll have a relationship, the more you'll love life, the more you'll engage with people on a level of love, and the more you'll love your work. This is not depending on the work itself. People are saying, oh, I want to change my job so I love what I do. And I go, learn to love what you do before you change your job, because every job has a challenge. And if you think you're going to find a place in the world that has the perfect job and the perfect dharma and the perfect purpose without challenge, you're going to be confronted all the time. So learn how to move got tos to love tos. Learn how to move fight flight into a state of consciousness, inspiration and love. And that's one of the great skills of a visionary, that nothing of the physical world stops them being in that state of high vision, high inspiration, high purpose. This is Chris Walker designing you a power hour. So I'll go through it once more. 1. Self. Take time to stop, let go of the ego and die to the ego and surrender to your soul. 2. Health. Be super healthy. Focus on organic food. Focus on what you eat, and make sure that you maintain a high level of cardiovascular fitness. Vision is the 3rd. Mental health is the most important thing to a visionary. If the mind is not singly focused, it becomes the enemy. So we need to be able to continually, using the universal laws of nature, see big picture, see order in chaos, maintain a vision, maintain that state of creativity where vision comes from. The next, evolve yourself. Continuously move through emotions by doing the Walker single breath technique, which is to discard emotion in the moment. And once a day, spend 5 minutes making sure you evolve your emotion and keep a little journal of those emotions you work through. 5th, biophilia. Use the power of nature. Use the human organic connection to nature and its environment. Learn how to connect to nature. Learn how to be in nature but be connected to nature. In other words, learn how to turn up in nature, love nature, let nature love you back. And with this state, I know this because I take people to the Himalayas, and when they get up in the mountains, when they get away from the pressure of work, when they get into nature, really get immersed and therefore connected at all the sensory levels, they become different people. And we all can't go to the Himalayas every 5 minutes to get that sense of vision. So what we need to do is bring nature, or the power of nature, that sense we get in the Himalayas, back into the workplace. And that's what I've spent my life doing, is developing the universal laws of nature, which is the rhythm of nature, the harmony of nature we feel when we're out in it and connected to it. Learning how to bring that back into our homes, offices and relationships and health. Finally, love. Love inspires creativity. Creativity connects to power. And if you look at any great success story on the planet, you'll find that they have been super creative. And from that creativity, they've developed power, not by force, but by simply the pure nature of their ability to think beyond the box, think outside of the square, create unique solutions to problems. So there's an old quote. It says, as above, so below. So vision, inspiration and purpose is the focus of a visionary. Vision, because it engages the ego. Inspiration, because it's in the now, it's fully present, it's mindfulness, it's meditation in action, it's mobile meditation. And finally, purpose, a reason greater than yourself. That engages you down to the below, which is super health and the connection to nature. On the other side, the universe is the source of inspiration. Nothing comes from you, only through you. The soul is the source of your vision. So in other words, your vision, although it's expressed by the ego, your soul speaks through your ego. So in a sense, your vision is the thumbprint of your soul, especially if your vision's done with a heightened sense of consciousness, a heightened sense of connection to nature in a vision quest that I do with my clients. And finally, all of those two translate to purpose. What's purpose? Your actions and the results of your actions. This is Chris Walker. Have a beautiful day. Bye for now.